If you're over 60 and your morning erections feel weaker, shorter, or just not showing up at all, you might be starting your day with the wrong fruit. Yes, fruit. Healthy, right? That's what everyone says. But not all fruits are created equal, especially if you care about your blood flow, testosterone, and sexual performance. Let's take Don, 67, a retired teacher, healthy weight, walking daily. But his energy and bedroom confidence, slowly slipping. Every morning he'd blend a smoothie with bananas, pineapple, and low-fat yogurt. Seemed innocent, but within 6 months, his morning erections disappeared. He felt foggy, low drive. What happened? His breakfast was sabotaging his hormones, packed with hidden sugars, inflammatory compounds, and even phytoestrogens that suppress male function. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 common fruits men over 60 should avoid eating first thing in the morning if they want to protect their testosterone, blood flow, and sexual performance. Hi, I'm Dr. Blake Morgan, a board-certified urologist with over 25 years dedicated to helping men over 60 reclaim their health. I break down real, science-backed advice every week to help you take control of your body again, naturally, without hype or empty promises. If you're from the US, comment 1 below. If you're from the rest of the world, drop a 2. I want to see where our community is tuning in from. Now let's get to the list. Fruit 1. Grapes. Grapes seem like a healthy snack. They're sweet, bite-sized, and full of antioxidants, right? But here's what most men don't know. Grapes, especially conventionally grown ones, are some of the most pesticide-contaminated fruits in the entire produce aisle. Those pesticide residues, especially organophosphates, have been shown in studies to disrupt the endocrine system. That's your hormone factory. When it's under attack, testosterone drops, sperm production slows, and erections suffer. The skin on grapes is so thin that chemicals sink in easily. Washing helps, but it doesn't eliminate what's already been absorbed into the fruit. Howard was a fit retiree who added grapes to his oatmeal every morning. Seemed like a smart choice, but during a routine blood panel, his estrogen levels were high and his testosterone had cratered. We dug into his habits, removed the grapes, switched to organic blueberries, and got him lifting light weights 3 times a week. Within 3 months, his morning erections were back. Healthier swap: organic blueberries or blackberries, low in sugar, high in flavonoids, and far safer for your hormones. Ever grabbed a handful of grapes without thinking? Type guilty in the comments if you've done this before. Fruit 2. Bananas. Bananas are a breakfast classic and a hidden troublemaker for men over 60. They're loaded with sugar and rank high on the glycemic index, meaning they cause blood sugar to spike fast. Why does that matter? Because spikes in blood sugar trigger insulin surges, and chronically high insulin leads to insulin resistance. That wrecks your blood vessels, including the tiny ones that supply your penis. There's another issue. Bananas contain serotonin precursors. Sounds good, but when consumed in excess, it can reduce dopamine activity. And dopamine is the brain chemical responsible for desire, drive, and motivation. Thomas blended 2 bananas into his smoothie every day, but he felt sluggish, had zero libido, and couldn't get or keep an erection. His fasting insulin, off the charts. We pulled bananas from his diet, added protein, cinnamon, and nuts, and within 2 months, his drive returned. Healthier swap: half an avocado with sea salt, rich in testosterone-supporting fats and keeps blood sugar stable. Fruit 3. Watermelon. Watermelon can help with blood flow, that's true. It contains citrulline, which helps produce nitric oxide. But here's where it goes wrong: portion size. Most men eat way too much. A big bowl of watermelon is like eating straight fructose. And fructose, it's metabolized in the liver, where it turns into fat. That leads to fatty liver, low testosterone, and weight gain around the belly, the trifecta of erectile dysfunction. Glenn was replacing dessert with watermelon every night. Seemed healthy, but he was eating 4 heaping cups. His triglycerides skyrocketed, and he gained visceral fat. We cut his portion in half, added a citrulline supplement, and started strength training. His waist shrank, and his testosterone levels rebounded. Healthier swap: a few small slices of watermelon alongside a clinical dose citrulline supplement. Moderation is key. Fruit 4, canned peaches or fruit cups. These are staples in hospitals, buffets, and even breakfast trays at retirement homes. But they're a hormone disaster. Why? Because they're often packed in high-fructose corn syrup, which inflames your liver and ruins insulin sensitivity. On top of that, they're usually stored in BPA-lined cans. BPA is a known endocrine disruptor. It mimics estrogen in your body and throws your testosterone balance way off. Over time, it leads to softer erections and reduced sperm production. Ernest liked canned peaches for breakfast, easy, tasty, and soft. But he had high estradiol on his lab work, low energy, and no drive. We ditched the canned fruit, went fresh and organic, and within 2 months his mood and erections both improved. Healthier swap. Fresh peaches, organic when possible, or poached pears with a sprinkle of cinnamon. Fruit 5, dried fruits, raisins, dates, figs, tiny, sweet, and innocent-looking. Dried fruits are some of the most deceptive foods for older men. Why? Because they're ultra-concentrated sugar bombs. A handful of raisins can contain over 20 grams of sugar. That spikes your insulin, inflames your blood vessels, and weakens erectile function. Plus, many dried fruits are coated in sulfites and preservatives that irritate your gut and may disrupt hormone balance. Bari thought he was being smart snacking on dried figs for digestive health. But he was bloated, had low testosterone, and his sex drive was gone. We cut the dried fruit, added fermented foods and probiotics, and within weeks, he felt sharper, stronger, and his wife noticed the change too. Healthier swap. Soaked prunes in moderation, or raw almonds for fiber without the sugar crash. Fruit 6, orange juice. Even fresh squeezed orange juice might be the most overrated, healthy breakfast choice out there. Even if it's fresh squeezed, it's basically liquid sugar without fiber. It causes your blood sugar to spike quickly, just like soda. That spike damages blood vessels, promotes inflammation, and creates insulin resistance, all terrible for your morning erections. Remember, strong erections rely on stable blood sugar and healthy, flexible arteries. Orange juice does the opposite. Walter had a daily glass of OJ for heart health, but he was crashing mid-morning and couldn't maintain an erection. His labs showed borderline diabetes. We replaced the OJ with lemon water and added a protein-based breakfast. In just a few weeks, his energy came back and his bedroom confidence improved. Healthier swap. Water with lemon or lime. It hydrates, supports your liver, and keeps blood sugar flat. Fruit 7, pineapple, especially canned or juiced. Pineapple sounds healthy. It contains bromelain, great for digestion and inflammation, right? But most men eat it canned, juiced, or pre-cut, and that's where the sugar trap sets in. Canned pineapple is loaded with syrup. Even fresh pineapple ranks high on the sugar scale. Plus, its acidity can irritate the gut and block zinc absorption, and zinc is absolutely essential for testosterone production and sperm health. Neil was all about pineapple daily snack, juiced in smoothies, but he had acid reflux, fatigue, and low libido. After removing the pineapple and boosting zinc-rich foods like beef and pumpkin seeds, his testosterone rose by 85 points in 10 weeks without a single pill. Healthier swap, papaya or kiwi in moderation, gentler on digestion and friendlier for your hormones. Let's quickly recap the 7 fruits to avoid for better erections after 60. Grapes loaded with pesticides and estrogenic effects, bananas high glycemic load, can dull libido. Watermelon in excess, too much fructose, causes belly fat. Canned peaches/fruit cups, BPA exposure, and synthetic estrogens. Dried fruits, sugar bombs that spike insulin. Orange juice, liquid sugar, inflames arteries. Pineapple, high sugar, lowers zinc, irritates gut. The common thread. Too much sugar, estrogen-mimicking compounds, and hidden hormone disruptors. These all damage your erections, your testosterone, and your confidence. But don't worry, this isn't about swearing off fruit. It's about choosing smarter options, watching your timing, and pairing them properly with fats and protein. Stick with low sugar, high antioxidant, organic fruits like berries, avocados, pomegranate, in small amounts citrus peel, zest, green bananas, resistant starch, and eat fruit with meals, not on an empty stomach. That's how you keep your blood sugar stable and your hormones firing. If you've watched this far, congratulations, you're already doing more than most men your age. You're not blaming aging, you're taking action. That alone makes a massive difference. If any of these fruits were part of your morning routine, now's the time to make a change. White heavy checkmark, swap out the fruit juice white heavy checkmark, add healthy fats and protein to your breakfast white heavy checkmark. And most of all, support your blood flow and hormones every single day. I've got more videos coming on testosterone-boosting breakfasts, prostate-friendly diets, and how your urination patterns predict your sexual health. So make sure to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. The 5 everyday habits that are shrinking your testosterone after 60, coming up next. This is Dr. Blake Morgan signing off. Stay strong, stay sharp, and as always, I've got your back.